It is 9:01. We have an appointment. Clock. I'm going to mute everybody because everybody's making lots of noise. Better? Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday, and you all know what that means, right? What are we doing today? I'm not seeing any. I'm looking for some signs, maybe. There, Steve's got it, right? High fives. So let's start. I figured in order to kind of get us in the mood for the high fives, what I'd like to do is start with a little gratitude meditation. Anybody here meditate? No? Yes? No? I know some of us have been doing those Thursday meditations, but there's a meditation that I've used for years to kind of get me out of bad moods and help me remember gratitude. It's a Tony Robbins meditation. Anybody ever go to any kind of Tony Robbins events, read any of his books, hear any of his podcasts or audiobooks or anything? You guys want to meditate with me for a little bit? It's a quick 5-minute meditation. It'll all get us in the mood, and then we can give each other some high fives. Sound good? Thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
All right. I don't see any. Oh, there we go. I got somebody giving me a thumbs up. I love that. All right. So here's Tony.
The two emotions that mess us up most is anger and fear. And you can't be grateful and angry simultaneously. It's the antidote. Put both your hands on your heart.
Don't see anything, Dan.
Breathe deep into your
There's
heart.
nothing to see. Just listen.
And as you're breathing deep in your heart, feel the strength of your heart. Feel the power of your heart. Feel the beauty of your heart. What are you proud or grateful that your heart has guided you to do or to give or to feel or to enjoy? And feel the strength of your heart. Breathe into it. Feel the blood flow, the oxygen. And feel grateful for your heart first. Because think about it. You didn't have to earn this heart. It was given to you. You didn't have to prove your value or your worth. You didn't have to accomplish anything. Something loved you enough to give you the gift of life. As long as this heart is beating, you have that gift and you live. And you don't have to think about it. What a gift. So as you breathe in your heart, feeling your powerful heart, I want you just for a moment, we're going to think of 3, but just think first of one event in your life, one experience, one moment that you could feel so grateful for if you wanted to. A magic moment, a sacred moment, a sexy moment, a beautiful moment, a loving moment, any moment that really you could feel grateful for if you wanted to right now. And then step into that memory for a minute. Like step in your body as if you were there. See what you would have saw then as if you're there, or hear what you'd hear back then, or breathe the way you were breathing back then. And if you fill up with that sense of gratitude for that moment, how do you smile when you feel so grateful or so thankful? What's the look in your eyes? How do you breathe? What's the look in your face when you feel really, really grateful? And just fill it up, fill up with gratitude. You can't be fearful and angry simultaneously. So fill up with gratitude. Now think of a second moment you could feel truly grateful for. And again, breathe deep in your heart. Feel that power. Just think of any other moment. It could be from your childhood or adulthood. It could be last week. It could be today. It could be 10 years ago. Any moment that you could just truly feel like that was grace. That was magical. That was beautiful. That's magnificent. Something that gives you the feeling of tremendous gratitude if you really focused on it. Breathe it, feel it, enjoy it, fill up with gratitude. Then finally, think of a third moment you can feel truly grateful for. Step in it, see it, feel it, be there. Feel the gratitude. What were you so grateful for? What are you grateful for? And then maybe throw one extra one in. Think of a coincidence. You know, we all love when life happens for us, not to us. We love coincidences because we didn't do anything. Something happened for us. You were going to do one thing and you met somebody that you developed a partnership with, or became a friend or a lover or the love of your life, or maybe a business opportunity came from a coincidence, or an insight came from a coincidence that's been so valuable in your life, something you're grateful for. What's the coincidence that led to something you're so grateful for? And feel the gratitude for that. And was it a coincidence or were you guided? Now, as you breathe in your heart, you've been doing this for about 2 minutes. Keep breathing, keep feeling it, feeling grateful. Let's use this state to solve the problem state. The easy way to do that is keep breathing in your heart, stay out of your head, in your heart, and think of that situation that's unfinished business that stressed you out in the past. But keep breathing in this beautiful state and ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, all I need to focus on in that situation, all I need to focus on, all I need to remember is what? Your heart knows. All I need to focus on, all I need to remember, all I need to do in that situation is what? Your heart knows the answer. All I need to focus on, all I need to remember, all I need to do is, and then your heart probably knows the answer. I've done this a million times. Not every one of you, but in a normal room, I'd have people say, raise your hand if you got that answer. And 98, 99% of the people usually do, even with this simple technique. And you know what to do, what's next.
How are we feeling?
Dan, that was such a great way to start the day. Thank you.
You're welcome. There are a couple meditations or priming exercises, as Tony Robbins calls them, that I like to do in the mornings to kind of get my head right. I think gratitude is obviously one of the most powerful. Diana Kokoska always says, gratitude is the highest form of energy that we can have. So what are we grateful for this morning? Do we have any high fives for anybody else on the call? Do we have just things that we're grateful for in general? Maybe even, one of the things that you thought of during that meditation. What are we feeling this morning?
I have a high five for you, Dan. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead, Kim.
Dan brought us to Keller Williams. If Dan hadn't knocked on our door next door to his flip, we never would have been at Keller. So I couldn't help but think of Dan during that whole time. And thank you so much.
Thank God you put that sign out in front of your house.
So I actually just want to say, going into Mother's Day and Mother's Day weekend, that whole meditation thing brought me back to how grateful I am for my mother and how I'm so grateful for my kids. So I just wanted to, on a personal note.
Awesome.
I'm grateful for the 50 people who played bingo last night.
That was so much fun.
And we have, I think 7 winners: Lydia Rousseau, Gary Disher, Jeannie Kassendorf, Jedna Jean-Pierre, Tama Murphy, Steve Scatamakia, and Sheila Doherty, all big winners.
And I want to, so let's give a high five to Kimberly Tapscott for helping us make that happen last night.
Totally. Kimberly was awesome.
Who else?
High five. Maria came to my rescue. My color printer died out, so I put together my presentation, and she got it printed out for me really quickly. So thank you, Maria.
Who else? Any
I
other?
have
There
I
you
have
go,
one.
Jeannie.
So Rick drove down to DC yesterday morning at 4:30 and picked up my daughter and brought her back to Connecticut to spend Mother's Day with us. So he drove 9 hours to bring her home. I'm grateful.
Anybody else? Well, I'm grateful for Adonis. It was funny during that meditation that I don't normally think about work stuff during those, but one of the things that, probably because I'm on this call right now, was the first day that I was not actually introduced to Keller Williams, but introduced to our Keller Williams. I was teaching for Karina Piedmont, continuing education classes for real estate agents. And I had taught at the Trumbull Keller Williams office before. but I walked into the Stanford Market Center at like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. And there was like maybe like 15, 20 people like there, all in their offices working. And I had no idea where I was supposed to go. I had just walked into the biggest real estate office I'd ever been in. It's huge. And I'm incredibly grateful for that day, because the energy that everybody had in that day, and the participation, and Adonis with his crazy smiling face and his energy, helping me get set up and everything that morning. It just felt great. And that's what kind of brought me to where I am now. So
Thanks, Dan. It was meant to be.
I know. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah, I too wanted to say thank you to the staff, which has been amazing. Robert, everyone, Steve Scott, especially our team leader, always there at the office trying to get everything. Yesterday I stopped in for bags and more gloves if he had any more, and mask, and he's always there. So I want to just say thank you for all the staff who's working at our office tirelessly, just to make sure we as agents have all the tools we need to perform our jobs. They're, especially Steve and Rick Scott, they're outstanding. All the MCA, Adonis, and this one who always helps with our checks. Yeah, so thank you to all. You make our job really interesting and make us be able to perform our job to the best. As we look forward to Red Day, and it's a good way to drop off bags and everything to our clients. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. Any other high fives for this Friday morning?
I have a high five.
There we go, Karen.
I have to thank Nancy and Bill and Paul and Carissa, for without them, I think I would have gone crazy at the office for these last couple months. So I do thank them for dealing with me on every level, the happy days and the frustrated days and the sad days. So thank you. And happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to thank Maria. I have a monthly mail out that goes out every month, and had really no way to figure out how to get it done without, the copier and so on. Mm-hmm. And she got it done in probably 1/10 of the time that it takes me to do it. So anyway, it was great and went out on time, and I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Marvin.
I have one.
All right.
That is to Sam Lopez and Adonis, because they know that I freak out about this technology and stuff, and they're both so gentle with me, and they help to guide me through this stuff so that I don't rip my hair out. So thank you to both of you.
All right. Thank you, Jen.
Shout out to Dawn for giving me many opportunities to work with her.
All right. All right. Do we have a mortgage minute this morning before we kick it to Adonis for Marty?
A mortgage minute. Anyone looking to buy a house for their mom this weekend for Mother's Day? FHA is 2.75 on a $600,000 loan. Buy two.
That's awesome. That's crazy. All right. Adonis, you want to get us kicked off with Marty?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dan. On this Grateful Friday, Marty is going to teach us something other than opportunities. It's been a while. We're going to learn how to import and do designs within Command. So let's see what else Command can do.
I'm very proud of myself for not having to ask Adonis which video we're playing this morning.
Oh, you're awesome, Dan. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Philip Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0. Today is day 30, and I've got another wildcard video coming out to you today with a new update that's happening in designs. So one that I'm pretty excited about, and that is the ability to load, edit, and then save PDF formatted files. So if you come to your designs, you're going to click on the designs applet. That's going to be here, the 9th one down on your left-hand side, kind of looks like a drawing pad. We're going to come over to the right-hand side and we're going to hit this plus button. And don't worry if any of this is not familiar to you, we're going to do a full video series on designs. And yet those of you that have already been working in designs, this is something new for you to begin playing with and submitting feedback on. So we're going to choose print and then create design. And then you now have the ability to choose my designs. So this is also a new wrinkle with designs. You can now see all of the print designs that you have previously created available for you to continue editing if you should choose. Previously, we could only see the template and whatever we had last saved in that template. Now we can see all of our designs. This is the new button that I'm excited about, the ability to import and edit PDFs. So first thing we're going to do is click on this box. It's going to go into my File Explorer here. I'm going to bring up a comparison test. This is something that we downloaded previously, I think, in one of our other videos. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of go through that and take a look at it. So you see, as soon as we hit that, it does a few things down here on the bottom right. You'll see a few updates. It's kind of loading it. It's really going to depend on how robust the PDF is, on how long it takes to load. So I've had that happen a couple of times. I've been playing with it here, and I've had some that have loaded very quickly and some that have taken a while. So this one has a red warning sign here. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say something's missing. Your PDF is missing a specific measurement unit. Please update it by clicking in the PDF. So once I click in the PDF, it's going to say, hey, do you want to measure this PDF by pixels, inches, millimeters, or centimeters? And I'm going to go ahead and use pixels right now. It's probably the smallest measure, and so I can get real granular should I be changing something very fine-tuned or very small. So I'll click on continue. Let's click on the orange now. We've noticed that there are masks and or gradients to the original PDF, so they will get rasterized by the editor as they are currently not supported. So it basically means that the PDF is going to show up pretty similar to what it looked like, but there may be a few things that don't show up 100% the way that you thought it would. So I'm going to double click on the document here. Now, traditionally, PDFs are a document that once we get, we can't really make any edits to, and yet now we have the ability to edit this PDF. And again, this was an offer test that we did a couple of days back. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom in down here on the bottom right. I can click on this arrow and it allows me to zoom in so I can see a little bit more of what I'm looking at. And now you'll see I have the ability to literally click on each one of these pieces of information. Maybe I put something in, I forgot to say that they were pre-approved. So maybe I need to drop a text box here, or maybe I mistyped something, strong offer because it gets us closed before 2020. Well, maybe they changed the closing date. So obviously I could recreate this offer sheet in Command, but this is just one example. This is one that I was testing, and you can see when I put in the summary, it wrapped beyond the page length on the right-hand side. So let's see if we can fix that. The first thing I'm going to do is click on this box. So you can see it's going to give me the box all the way to the right. And it's one box with this entire line. I'd like this to be two separate text boxes. So the first thing I'm going to do is double click my mouse so that I get this icon that looks kind of like an eye, if you will, with the brackets on top and bottom. That's kind of the universal icon for entering or editing text. So you can see down here on the very left-hand side, there's a blinking cursor. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit more for you guys. And here is our cursor right here. So we're going to double click. And what I want to do is I want to get rid of strong offer, get those closed, right? I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to click on this box when I get the cross, and I want this text box to start right here. Okay. However, the far end is off the screen. I can't even see it over here. So I'm going to click on it again, and I'm going to drag it to the left until I can see the edge of it. Right. And I'm going to pull it in. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. I'm going to drag it in. And you can see as I do, it's starting to wrap down to the next line. Now I can pull the whole box over, and I'm going to line it up on the left. I'm going to line it up on the right. Now I'm going to line it up on the left. I'm going to get rid of that S in there. So now it says, definitely think we should consider it, and yet the cash offer gets us closed. I'd like this to be centered, so I can actually click on the box. I can come up here to the top and I can choose center on the alignment. So now that looks great. It fits perfectly in that box, okay? Now I want to recreate the box that was here. So here's a text box. I'm gonna double click on this box and I'm gonna copy it and then I'm gonna paste it. Now, and you'll see here's that text box that I pasted. I'm just gonna move that one up and I'm gonna drop it in the spot that the other one was. Oops, let me undo that. That was moving our background. And let's click on this text box. That's the one we were moving. And we're gonna drop it right here. We're gonna stretch it left or right to make sure that it, whoops, let's get that left to right. There we go. And that fits perfectly in that line. And honestly, I can't remember exactly what we said on here, but now I can just type in this box and I can say strong offer, definitely should be considered, right? And so now, if I go back, let me zoom out just a touch. I did have a box that didn't look very good because it was wrapping around the side. Why is it not letting me zoom? There we go. Now I'm just zoom out that way. All right, so now I can see that this text fits here very easily. Let's actually center that because that's the alignment that we have everything else on. And now I have this box fitting in here. Bottom line is I've been able to come into a PDF document and make changes. I can do some other things in here. Maybe I want to put my Market Center branding on this, right? So that made it really big. Let's undo that. And let's just click there. Now you can see here's my Market Center branding. I could shrink that down just a little bit. And maybe I'll put that, let's say down here at the bottom right of it. Maybe I want my company logo to be on this. So let's add the company logo. Here that is. And I can click on it and I can drag it up to the top. Now, obviously that's going to cover some of the text that's showing up. So here's another cool tool. I could click on this. I could come up here to the opacity and I can make it less opaque. So basically it kind of hides in the background, but you can still see my logo, right? So there we have it. I've gone in, I have changed a PDF, I've updated it, I've moved some of the text boxes. You have all of the same tools that you have within Designs in this document. So you have the ability to add drawing, shapes, frames, and text. You have the ability to do images, text, icons, logos. You could bring in information about your listings. I mean, all the same thing. So if you're new to Designs, don't stress. We'll have an entire video series on how to add all of this. We'll really dive deep into creating all of the different assets and elements that we can create. And yet this kind of wildcard video was more for people who are already familiar with Designs, but weren't quite aware that you can now go in and edit a PDF document. So once it's done being edited, I can come click on download. I can now click on get PDF. I always like high resolution quality prints. This is already one page and I could click on start download. And now I have re-downloaded this file. And now I could send this one off to my clients if I like this one, the way this one looked a little bit better. So that's basically your ability to go through. It took a little bit of time here, but now you can see here's that new PDF and let's see what it looks like. So there's the new PDF that we just created using a former PDF, right? And we can go in and let's see, I can show you what the old one looked like and then we can just compare the two. Oops, open File Explorer a couple too many times there. So let's get in and here was the old one. Let me find that. Sorry, I didn't realize I had so many documents in here. Here's the old one. Right, kind of boring and plain. And then here's the new one that we just created. All right, so that's our ability to come into KW Command. That's getting into the designs. We chose a print asset and then we chose to upload and edit a PDF. So hopefully you guys will find value in that. I mean, I could go all day on all the different things that we could utilize this tool for, but obviously you don't want to hear that. So you guys go play, have fun, learn how to edit PDFs. And Any feedback that you have, please, because I want this tool to continue to be developed, please submit it back to support@kw.com. Click on the question mark on the top of.
All right.
Awesome. So Command never ceases to amaze us with all that it can do. And on Monday, we're going to be introduced to the Smart Plans and the Smart Plan Kelly Guide with Marty Miller.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome.
I think that right there is one of my favorite features of designs. You can literally take any design that you see. It could be from, something that you've used in the past, something that that you've seen a competitor use, and kind of import it and then kind of recreate it really easily. It's really nice. It's a really nice feature if you haven't had a chance to play around with it yet. All right. That's it. That's our Friday. That's our Friday Crush It call, everybody. Enjoy your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Let's go out and sell some houses.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day
to all the mothers. Yes.
to all the mamas out there. Happy Mama's Day.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Make it a great weekend. Make it a great day. It's looking nice out there.